All right, everybody. Welcome to I Screen, You Scream for Movies for Monday, April 3rd. F it, it's a raw feed. We are doing it live. I'm Danny. And without further ado, time to get into Brax taxing this episode. Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. So much to talk about and so much to explain. I'm going to actually try to explain the best as I can because, one, I'm not a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan. And two, not much to talk about really, but I will tell you just obviously the good news. So just to educate this real quick, Dungeons and Dragons, for those that don't know what it is a turn-based RPG style board game that is like a not a video game, but it's actually a board game franchise that appeals to a lot of the fans. Even I actually heard about the IP years ago until they actually made this movie from Paramount Pictures. And what made me want to see this movie, just like how you market trailers well enough. And Paramount Pictures, you all know Paramount's my favorite studio so far, and last year, great movies and all, of a comeback. They had put out a great trailer to start off their marketing since last year. They put this in CinemaCon. I mean, not CinemaCon, Comic Con. My bad. So they put this trailer in Comic Con, and it actually attracted a lot to what this movie is about, what it looks like, and how what the pieces of the action is all about to what they show, and it looks super interesting. I told myself that's a movie I'm gonna actually try to see, hopefully, even if it's garbage. Until the buzz of the receptions, even before the movie came out, got hyped and insane. And so much to talk about this real quick. Like I said, not much to really speak, but I'm gonna try to actually put as much as I can because there's not much really. Like I said, I'm not a huge Dungeons and Dragons guy, but I was going to actually see this Thursday night. For those that listened to the Mario hype episode, go check it out if you haven't. By the way, I was supposed to see it Thursday night with a family member, but it was unfortunate that couldn't happen. So I end up going to see it by myself. I went to see it April 2nd of Sunday as of this recording. And just to give you my 2 cent thoughts to Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, I'd be super lying, but nah, I'm not lying about this as you can see. But Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves was super good. It was insane. Especially, I'm not a huge fan, but they made this super good for people. Like, the way they made this movie, to also give it perspective, it's directed by two directors, Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly. They've done a good job not only directing this, but making this even the tone and like the vibes of this movie very fun, like enjoyable, without even like needing to understand what the IP really is. It's like it could be just an appeal thing to people that want to look at these kind of movies. Now, just to put this into that idea, this movie may not be for like everybody to see, especially for the hardcore Dungeons and Dragons fans out there and people that love fantasy stuff. Even for me, I do enjoy fantasy stuff. I haven't enjoyed any fantasy movie since Clash of the Titans for 2010. That one's my all-time favorite fantasy movie I enjoyed. So, Dungeons and Dragons, though, I think it really tops and manages so much of that in every way, conceivably, unbelievably every way. It is action-packed, charming, full, a great story, great characters, and great visual effects. So much like that, I couldn't just break down so much things I can just wanted to talk about, but I will at least go over the castings of this movie that may not be butts in the seats movie stars, but they're great additional and main cast that actually fits well to this movie. So, you got Chris Pine. You all know him from Star Trek. Plays Captain Kirk, leader of the Star Trek crew. He's all right. And considering I'm not a huge Chris Pine fan, I do enjoy one of his movies, Unstoppable, with Denzel Washington. That's like the only movie I actually enjoyed out of his stuff. I haven't been watching any Star Treks, and as you all know, I'm a big movie theater guy. I don't even have time to digest a lot of these movies unless it's a homework thing. I know Star Trek 4 is probably going to be made, so obviously Chris Pine's going to be coming back if not, if so, I'm sure. But Chris Pine really fit well to this movie, especially the character. He's the planner of the leader of the Thieves. And I thought he did a good job, and he has a great backstory too, so I like it. I was actually well enjoying his character without any second thoughts, really. Another cast member, Michelle Rodriguez, which, to let you guys know, she is obviously my all-time favorite female action actresses of all time. I think she was sick. She was awesome. Fast X is coming out. I can't wait to see more of her. But she plays as the barbarian, and while things could have gotten better, she actually plays a great job as that character. She's amazing. I just cannot stop looking at her for that. I mean, this is a just amazing piece of work performance of an actress like Michelle Rodriguez. She nails it in every kind of movies like this. So she's awesome. Another cast member, Rajesh Jean Page. Someone I'm not familiar with, but I can say this, not to spoil. He's not throughout the whole movie, unfortunately. But I thought he was a great additional cast member who also has a good story, I believe. So I thought he really fits in the movie just fine. I wish he was throughout the whole movie though. So it could have been like a little interesting. But moving on. Justice Smith. I like this guy, especially you all know him from Detective Pikachu. Getting a sequel, of course. Not sure he's coming back or not. But I say he's also great in this movie. He was also funny. And plays as the wizard too. I like it. I like his humor and all. I think Justice Smith is one of the funniest young actors at the moment coming off right now. And then you got Sophia Lillis, who a character who can actually shapeshift to any kind of species, from like a fly to she can even turn into like some owl-like bird creature, which is insane. I didn't think she does that. It surprised me. So I thought it was really cool of a concept, I swear. And you also got another actor, a supporting more, but he is the villain of this movie, actually. And I'd be lying if I did not see one of his movies, but I actually did. But Hugh Grant. The only project I only saw of his career is that he voiced in an animated stop-motion film, Pirates Band of Misfits. That one's like my all-time favorite stop-motion movie. I saw it when I was like 12 years old in theaters, and I remember seeing his name coming off the castings. He voiced Pirate Captain. So I know the fact that when he was this good for voicing this character, I know he could do so great in Dungeons and Dragons. And it checks my box. He actually did a great job fulfilling his villainous role. It is a little twisting, though, what you guys will see if you see Dungeons and Dragons about his character. So you'll get to see a lot of that. But he is not throughout the whole movie, but he does serve well as a villain. But yeah, those are the castings. I thought they were great. They're not butts in the seats movie star, but they're actually fulfilling pretty fun castings like that. I thought they did a great job casting the right people for these characters, especially what these characters do in this Dungeons and Dragons stuff, really. So, really awesome. And on top of that, the VFX were great, considering Paramount Pictures has always come off great with these VFX with Sonic, Transformers, Bumblebee, and Dungeons and Dragons really handled a lot of that VFX super well. I will say it's a lot expensive, but the VFX were so cool. Even the dragon was crazy good. Excuse me. The dragon was awesome. Oh man, I just could not stop looking away at these VFX from these creatures and characters. I mean, they were just unreal. I was just like, wow. I was blown at a lot of these VFX. So they done a great job with the VFX overall. They're amazing. And then, like I said, the action, everything in this whole film, there's not much to talk about, but everything in this movie was bonkers fun. Especially, this is the final movie of March that we got so far, and this one surprised me a lot throughout the whole month. I just saw Creed, I just saw Scream, Shazam, John Wick, and Dungeons and Dragons. And March was like a good month of these IP sequels and like franchises like that. I have to say, almost top my number one favorite movie of March. But to go over this whole list of March movies I actually enjoyed, number one is John Wick. Obviously, check out my review, by the way. And I'm sure the other movies I also posted on my podcast and YouTube. They're available now to listen if you missed them. If you want to check them out, not necessary, but if you want to see my pieces of information of what I enjoyed about these movies, go ahead. So John Wick's my number 1 of March. Dungeons and Dragons, Scream 6, Creed 3, and Shazam. So Dungeons and Dragons surprised me many ways, and it looked really good. The trailers, like I said, even did a good job capturing me even more until the movie got even great receptions from reviews, audiences coming out from South by Southwest, and it was great. It was like, the movie was well done. I think it deserved so much support. And just to go over this real quick, there is a problematic going on with the box office now. I'm not saying it performed pretty bad. It is so. Dungeons and Dragons has made over 37 as of today, 37 actuals, 37 something $million. It was estimated 38, but until the actuals came true as 37. So it was projected from 30 to $40 million opening weekend, which is good. It actually stayed in the projections. But here's the issue. The Super Mario Bros. Movie is coming out this week, as of recording. And that is going to take away a lot of legs and a lot of support for what Dungeons & Dragons has to offer. Because Dungeons & Dragons, like I talked about from the VFX part, it is expensive. The whole movie is expensive. Not as a superhero, but it cost around $151 to make. That's a problem. That's a huge problem, especially it needs to break even. The legs could... Now, the disadvantage I will take away also, not just the Mario movie coming out, that's going to take everyone's eyes off of it and support the movie the whole month. But the problem is, this movie's not for everybody. Technically, this is for mostly for the hardcore Dungeons and Dragons that play the board game. It's unfortunate, maybe that the disadvantage is that not everyone may not be in this kind of stuff or the film itself. But I thought it had a good turnout this weekend, and it was very good, considering that a lot of young ages and some adults came out to seeing this. It was very good. So that's actually a surprising turning point of this movie. It's unfortunate that it's unfortunate on Paramount's end that they put this right around Mario coming out, and they could have at least moved it away from it and probably put this around late April. That could have been doing fine, but they just had a lot of mishaps of putting this movie in the right spot. So I don't know what to really much say about it, really. It's really unfortunate. I have nothing to say, but I think now I could put this another perspective. It could have a shot to break even. The Mario movie's not coming out worldwide in one weekend. It's coming out on different release dates. So Dungeons & Dragons could do pretty well internationally, but depending on the region though, Mario could take every aspect away from people seeing this movie. But I have an idea I can lend you guys a hand on for those who are trying to pick between Mario and Dungeons & Dragons, for those who are really particularly excited to see Dungeons & Dragons, but Mario's coming out. Here's what I will do. So, what you can pretty much do a double feature that you can support both Mario and Dungeons & Dragons. And I heard, yeah, Mario's coming off great buzz, so it's getting great reviews. So if you're really looking to try to finish both of movies that you really want to see, if you have a day off, or you got the whole day off to a day to watch both at the same time, I'd say do a double feature. That could help you watch both the movies in one day, get them out of the way, and a great way to support Dungeons & Dragons, because I think Dungeons & Dragons really, really, really deserves the support. Paramount Pictures, you guys, killing it. I never slept on Paramount Pictures. No one should since last year. And they came off great with Scream 6, which surprisingly the legs were good enough to break even. It made over almost $100 million domestically. So Dungeons & Dragons, I'm not sure if it will have that shot to break $100 million. But it does need to break enough to break even. I think 300 maybe. I don't know. But it could be a great idea to watch both movies if you have a time or chance to or maybe you could just don't, if you have if you got the time and chance and you pick both these movies And if you have the whole day off to yourself, I'd say go watch both movies in one day. I say both the movies, you'll have a great time. I didn't see Mario yet, but I'm certainly you guys will have a great time watching Dungeons and Dragons. I think it really deserves a lot of like credibility and support, especially how the original 2000 movie, excuse me, was very bad. And I guarantee you, this one topped a lot of the adaptations of Dungeons and Dragons, and I think this is like the surprise movie of the year. It has great buzz, great all of that, receptions, everything. So I got nothing else to pretty much talk about really on this movie or the box office, but I'm praying for the hopes of the legs and anyone coming out to see this movie. But Mario is going to be a factor that's going to take away this, unfortunately. So I don't know how to really say this, but I hope everyone comes out. Most everyone people would see this movie and support it. Like I said, great movie. You'll have a great time. I don't think a movie that would be this much fun I had since Bullet Train. This actually turned out to be a surprise of the year for sure. I actually loved it. I love this movie so much. I'm probably going to watch it again when it hits Paramount Plus for sure. Maybe I'll watch it with some friends or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think that will conclude this review for Dungeons and Dragons. I highly suggest going and seeing it. Or if you rather pick Mario or Dungeons and Dragons itself, do a double feature or try to at least get one of the movies out of the way for the weekend. And then, yeah, pretty much really. So, awesome movie. A great way to end off March. And we're getting April. And then the summer blockbuster kicks in so much to begin 2023 with a bang. And March just kicked off just right. So, all right, you guys. Just to give an announcement real quick. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, yes, I'm going to be wearing not the cap, but I got the Wario outfit. If you guys have seen my hat, my mustache, and my gloves from my Road to Mario episode, again, check this episode out. If you haven't, Mario is this week. Finally, to remind you all, it's one of my most number one anticipated movies. I may not be anticipating excited as Top Gun, but for a video game, and I think it's already it's already coming off great buzz. It got social reactions as of Saturday and more today. So this is actually very good. I can already foresee this already. I'm excited for Mario. So, but in case no one didn't listen to the last episode, I won't have this review out this week, unfortunately, because my guest and friend Devontae, aka Hyper Mario 24, isn't going to see this till next week. But I do promise for sure he's going to see next week on Wednesday. So by the time I record this episode on Wednesday, I'll most likely drop it next Thursday. Just to give everyone time to see the movie as well. But yeah, the Super Mario Bros. Movie this week. Gonna be dressing up, and this is my second time dressing since Top Gun last year. Gonna be a theatrical experience. And if it ends up being super good to me, like super bangerly fun of a video game, I'm gonna see it a few times. And that's what usually happens when a movie like this gets the treatment of satisfaction until it dies out. So, yeah, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Don't miss it. Don't read it. Don't weep them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude this episode. The review for Mario drops next week. I'm seeing it Wednesday, 2 days later as of recording. So, and as of hits on air, I'm going to see it the next following day, even depending when you listen to this episode. So, if you guys enjoy this podcast or are excited to see my full review for Super Mario Bros. Movie, rate and review 5 stars. Follow and subscribe to this podcast. Really helps tremendously. Follow my social media platforms on Twitter at ISUS4MPod. My TikTok, YouScreen4Movies. And if you're watching this on YouTube, drop a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to alert you guys when my episodes drop, especially the Mario movie review if you're watching this on YouTube. And don't forget to email me at dscomlaje@gmail.com what you think of Dungeons & Dragons. Even if you see Dungeons & Dragons, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please don't forget, don't hesitate to drop your comments, your email to me, what you think of Dungeons & Dragons, and how much you're looking forward to see a Super Mario Bros. Movie. I hope everyone's ready. Stay off social media if you can. If you're not going to see this opening weekend or opening day, that's all I'm going to say. I'm gonna pretty much try to immediately get off these hashtags and all. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. Movie. Can't wait. And that will be it. I don't think there's anything left to say except till next time. I'll be screaming you all at iScreen, you scream for movies. Nailed it.